Hello, my friends. We are starting up our first confident orienteering stream, and my name is Alexey Alexeyonak. I'm a co-author of the group. You're uh, all our members. So the idea was to start some streams to share our thoughts on maps, courses, route choices, anything about our lovely sport orienteering, and maybe a couple of words of events which IF is organizing. And fortunately, just today, their mixed relay in sprint has finished in EOC, which means European Orienteering Championships. So let's speak a little bit about it. I will share on the screen, and hopefully you can see it. And first of all, we will start from Google Street View. Just a quick overview how the area of our competitions looks like. And here is like arena finish and start was located here on the edge of this booked. Um, as we will see later, the organizers has built artificial, not artificial, yeah, of course, but artificially built a new bridge here. The first legs were starting on it, and they were facing uh, such buildings and such modern area. Later, we will move to the older town, with uh, which looks like it. It's quite modern still, but it was built like a way uh, before the main area of finish and start. So our competitors will be running here in the later part of courses. Some narrow streets, they are not rectangulars, so they're a little tricky to more tricky to find the correct route choices. And let's continue to our map. Uh, First of all, what we see here is the whole map, and the main thing here that the competition area is in only one level, which is good because modern sprint mapping standards allowed us to map multi-level surfaces like multi-level towns and cities, and it's of course more complicated to navigate through. So hopefully this time we see just a normal sprint map. Just competition is a little bit unnormal. It's like a high point in Europe to take part in. Yeah, as usually, the first leg belongs to ladies, and let's see how they have managed their course. As I have already mentioned, the first part is a more modern one and differs against the second and biggest part of the course. And it was a little bit tricky to orienteers to switch between different terrain. And here we can see some unoptimal route choices and so on and so forth. a little bit nervousing start because of the narrow, not streets, but narrow footpaths and stairs. So as for me, it's absolutely uh, uh, as for me as personally, it looks very uncomfortable to run in such narrow streets because I had got an injury running in such conditions, and for organizers to take a risk starting straight to such like tight and thingy passes maybe a challenge. We see already in the very beginning, um, the ladies are split. Of course, we have to have the forking relays. The only question here: how is planned? How is it? Is it properly planned uh, for letting athletes feel this shoulder to shoulder competition? Because in sometimes, and we will see it later, it very depends on which forking you will get. You can gain or lose a lot of seconds. One of the interesting and probably deciding leg is on the first leg. It is six. Maybe the second is also six. Yeah, it's also six. So for both for women and men, the sixth leg is quite decisive, and here after the arena passage, our athletes split into mainly in two, okay, let's say northern and southern route choices, and of course it's very special up to which control you have on your map. If you have this northern one, so maybe the northern is shorter, but when you see a lot of people running the south or right route choice, maybe a few people from the northern forking can be following this group and lose some seconds there. Of course, these bushes, and let's say let's see, maybe we can see this on Google Earth. Is it possible here? No, not really. Sorry. We cannot see it, how it looks like inside this garden. Yeah, maybe just like that. Yeah, a few years ago it was a building area there. So also the narrow path and high speed, of course, very dangerous on the first leg. That's the main point which I would avoid if I would plan the courses for sprint relays. Yeah, the course itself is not very difficult. It's very not very simple, of course, but it's exactly as a relay should look like. Um, you can see tricky route choices, left, right, the closed streets, some artificial fences. Of course, this also gives the like more opportunities for for course setters to challenge our runners. So what next? One of decision as for me, not decision, but decision of leg was the 12th one. We can see it's interesting because it's only for ladies, and if you take a look on first leg runners, the only few teams choose the left all the way around this building and around the corner of this church. Most people run to the right, and interesting because not everyone had this northern 11th control, northern forking here. So of course, for those who had the southern one, the take right through choice doesn't look optimal. And later on the last leg, the girls were bit on this leg and this like okay like 12th leg and some few second like few seconds were gained and for leaders positions were decision. Okay, what's next? We had to tell you a little. The 13, 14s, of course, some root choices as well, but once again, forking and next tricky and challenging leg is the 15 ones. It of course depends on which fork you will get, but if you can see the 15s control, it is inside the corner of this fence of bushes, and there is only the entrance here is between these I don't know flowers or forbidden olive, let's say olive area, and here it's very important for runners to properly choose. If you can see here, those who will take the right route choice for this, okay, let's say Eastern 15th forking, they will lose a few seconds against them who will take the left one because they anyways need to come to this specific point, and I hope you can see my mouse cursor on. Also, the options was to run out to this street. Maybe you can gain some speed, but while on the first leg, you can see the most runners were coming from there, and of course they will not turn around and run in the counter direction. Okay, second legs belongs to man, and of course they have already split a little bit, and now we can try to follow the Norway and try to see how they have gained the advantage during this second leg. They started in the third or fourth position, not sure, but after a few first controls, they are in leading group. Then you see that Norway takes this right route choice. Of course, it's difficult to understand where exactly runners are running because the coverage of GPS and the quality of signal is very poor there, and you can just imagine left or right. And you can see here the Norway have nothing special in his route choices, but looks like his legs are so fast and he just gaining advantage. And here, fortunately, Norway had a shorter forking. As I said, this Western 18th control or 15th for ladies, a little shorter to run left here, and Now we can see the Norway in clear lead, and it was about 10 seconds. Nicely done. The third leg. Okay, let's see what they have done here. Okay, let's scroll a little bit faster to the sixth control. And we can see some zigzags of Norway, and Norway not in the lead anymore uh, after this forking. Then they split again, a new forking. And here the one of disaster, like huge disasters of this race is happening. The Polish team and Piotr Porfinovich misses the ninth control and approaching tenth. In the live splits, so we could see that Piotr has gained like 20 seconds comparing to the leaders. And of course, we understood it cannot be just managed in these conditions. He should made a kind of mistake, and later on, of course, we confirmed that Polish team was disqualified. Unfortunately, they had good positions during the race, but yeah, this is our sport when you need to make a mental job during a physically tough uh, exercise. So uh, it's very simple to lose uh, concentration and focus on which control point is next. And in our one of our ideas, I say our because I mean my uncle Alexander. We are always thinking how to improve this control order collection. I'm not sure collection maybe is not the best word, but how to control the order of the of the controls we are picking, like not to forget to punch the nines after the eights. And some ideas, of course, need to be confirmed from real life, and maybe we'll share it soon to you as well. And here you can see Norway of the second or third leg of Norway team. This 18th control, as we can see the red uh, track here. Our Casper Foster has done a little mistake additional to what we have just spoken about. So the control is inside of this green bushes, like green corner, and yeah, it's very tricky to understand which is the shorter. And of course, additionally, few meters were done running this asphalt track. Yeah, so Sweden, Finland, Norway, France, and Switzerland are finishing and change over to the last leg and ladies. Okay, here we can see the Sweden and the Finland in clear lead, then Norway and chasing France and Switzerland a few seconds behind. Nothing special from my point of view here. All of fruit choices are pretty much the same. The fast legs are more decisive here. Now Swedish and Finland takes the northern route choice on this six leg forking, and they both had northern control, as we can imagine. Okay, let's say. Norway most likely had the southern one. If you see this track, it looks like the runner was running through this tunnel and to the right on the southern six. And you can see here interesting like how the runners are split. The Swedish athlete runs to the, let's say, eastern and left route choice. Finland takes zigzag in the middle, and Switzerland, Norway take the right route choice here. Difficult to say what happens and who is the first, but suddenly we can see all four teams are pretty much together. And now, additionally, here in this leg, which I have mentioned before, the 12th control, few runners go to the right, but now Finland and Switzerland takes southern choice. And they quite succeed, they are pretty much together. And here again, like according to what we see here on GPS tracks. They are very close to each other. They're punching the 14th control and then they split. Switzerland takes the right route choice, Norway, Sweden, and Finland takes the left one. But suddenly we can see that Sweden making a mistake. Maybe, maybe not. But yes, for Sweden, she need to run into this corner of 15th, yeah, and so again. Now we can see the Finland in lead, Norway, Sweden, and Switzerland. And here is the final result. Norway the first. Suddenly, what happened to Finland? Finland were Maja Sianoja. Sorry, Maja. She did a missed punch, and this is another tragic um, okay situation, let's say, in this relay when team was in lead and then mispunching something and disqualifying. So Norway first, Switzerland second, and Sweden the third. Congratulate our teams. Thanks for watching this short video, and next time Alexander will join me and we will discuss something um, together. Maybe you will like it, maybe not. Share your thoughts in comments. Additionally, I had a question to all who did watch through this last minute, and the question for you is, what do you think about fairness to have a forking in quite short distance from the finish? You know, the recommendations that the last part needs to be the same for all runners, all legs, but how long this last part should be uh, for sprint relays? And do you think this 15th control and its forking is far enough to be fair, or maybe the runner should have the same course since the 12th, for example? Put your thoughts in comments. Thank you for watching and see you next time.